Chapter 267, Chapter 164, Tier 2 Body Cultivator, 800-year lifespan, comparable to Pengzu. This is because, although demonic cultivation techniques have significant side effects, they can be mastered quickly and possess immense power. As for orthodox cultivation methods, even after cultivating for decades, progress may still be minimal. But with demonic cultivation techniques, even after just a few years of practice, breakthroughs can be continuously made, and one may even advance to foundation establishment. In this case, which low-qualified loose cultivator could resist such temptation? Once these demonic cultivation techniques are obtained, many loose cultivators can immediately transform into demon cultivators. Therefore, demon cultivators are endless and indescribable, because any loose cultivator can switch to becoming a demon cultivator at any time. Even if everyone knows that demon cultivators are as good as criminals, it is still impossible to prohibit them. To be honest, I think Yunlai City is already the safest place now. It's even more dangerous outside. Staying in Yunlai City, at least there is a spirit vein to aid in cultivation, protected by the Tier 3 array. Those demon beasts and demon cultivators outside can't break in. But once you leave, you're all alone, and it's impossible to withstand these enemies. A cultivator said with much emotion. After much thought, he still felt that staying in Yunlai City was a bit more secure. Haha, who doesn't know that? But the rent in Yunlai City is really too expensive. It's simply as precious as gold. Loose cultivators like us can't afford to live in houses here. If I don't go out to earn spirit stones, I might just be kicked out. Many loose cultivators said helplessly. Obviously, for ordinary loose cultivators, even renting a place in Yunlai City is a very difficult task. Every loose cultivator is basically struggling to survive. Demon cultivators actually appeared. Upon hearing these words, Jiang Fan's eyes revealed a glint of shrewdness. He immediately remembered the hint from the fortune-telling talisman before. If he left Yunlai City, it would be a sign of great misfortune, and there might even be a calamity. Now it seemed this was also confirmed with the mysterious demon cultivators. If he left, he might be targeted by demon cultivators. Even if he wasn't killed by demon cultivators by then, he would definitely lose many of his hidden cards. Completely not worth the loss. At the same time, joining the powers within Yunlai City was also extremely dangerous. He would definitely face rebellion from the Wu family and other Foundation establishment clans, experiencing considerable tribulation. Perhaps under a desperate counterattack from the other side, he would also be severely injured. There might even be a continuous stream of troubles, getting mired in difficulties. He might even be targeted by the Golden Core Zhenren Taoist Fey Lion, becoming a thorn in their side. Instead, he hid his cultivation and quietly stayed in Yunlai City. Not only did he avoid the calamity of the demon cultivators, but also steered clear of Yunlai City's tribulations, allowing him to cultivate peacefully. Watching the clouds rise and fall. Eventually, most of the treasures the Wu family left behind fell into his hands. More importantly, he did not get involved in too much karma, silently reaping many opportunities. The fortune-telling talisman is indeed wondrous. It truly can seek fortune and avoid evil, preventing problems before they arise. Jiang Fan felt quite emotional. Even with just the proficient-level fortune-telling talisman, it had already helped him to such an extent. If it advanced to mastery or great success level, what kind of abilities would it possess? He felt that this talisman would definitely become one of the most important life talismans he carried. However, constantly improving the skill level of this talisman is not an easy task. It still requires him to incessantly consume his own destiny, using this talisman to possibly succeed. There is no shortcut. Chapter 268, Chapter 165, Promotion to Second Layer Foundation Establishment, Taoist Yunlai returns. It wasn't long before Jiang Fan returned home. He stayed quietly in Yunlai City. After all, this city is protected by a Tier 3 array, making it difficult for even Golden Core Zhenren to break in. In the short term, Yunlai City is still very safe. More importantly, for now, he does not lack cultivation resources. Therefore, he has no plans to go elsewhere. For him, safety is the most important thing. Everything else is secondary. In the blink of an eye, 3 months passed quickly. At that moment, Jiang Fan sat cross-legged on the ground, consuming drop after drop of medicine liquid. These medicine liquids were obtained from his adventures in the Xianxia secret realm. After being refined by the 10,000 transformations pill furnace, only the purest medicine liquids remained. These pure medicine liquids have no side effects, and their medicinal power is fierce, making them very suitable for foundation establishment cultivators. Rumble tilde tilde. As Jiang Fan swallowed each drop of medicine liquid and operated the mixed element talisman scripture, he rapidly refined these medicine liquids completely, and the primordial talisman kept rotating, finally condensing drop after drop of primordial spiritual power. Then this primordial spiritual power surged out from the depths of the elixir field and flowed into his meridians. After 3 months of arduous cultivation, the primordial spiritual power that Jiang Fan condensed had already connected 12 meridians, reaching the perfection of the first layer of foundation establishment. Originally, he was just a step away from the second layer of foundation establishment realm. Now, with the aid of these medicine liquids, the primordial spiritual power within him surged rapidly. Boom tilde tilde. Centered on his body, the heaven and earth spiritual chi rushed in, forming a giant spiritual energy vortex. They eagerly surged into the depths of his body. Bang tilde tilde. Deep within his body, the primordial spiritual power began to rampage, seemingly transforming into a turbulent river, impacting the meridians. With just one simple impact, another meridian was opened up. Second layer of foundation establishment. Obviously, for Jiang Fan, advancing to the second layer of foundation establishment was an extremely easy matter. There was essentially no bottleneck at all. This was not only due to his earth spirit root talent. More importantly, he had comprehended foundation establishment of Tao understanding, laying a solid foundation. One could say that now he was not much different from a celestial spirit root cultivator. Before advancing to the golden core stage, he would essentially have no bottlenecks. The checkpoints of foundation establishment could be achieved instantly. This is the advantage of superior spiritual root talent and solid foundation. But other foundation establishment cultivators do not have such benefits. Every time they advance a level in their cultivation, they encounter bottlenecks. Furthermore, as they progress, the bottlenecks become increasingly daunting. In the end, no matter how they try, they cannot break through. Even after decades or centuries of cultivation, there is no way, and ultimately, they remain stuck at their current realm. Their achievements for this life will be no different. For cultivators, foundation is indeed very important. Jiang Fan felt a great sense of emotion, once again realizing the importance of a solid foundation for cultivators. The so-called foundation actually has many aspects. One aspect is the purity of the spiritual power within, which must be extremely pure without any impurities. Another aspect is the power of the soul, which also needs to be very strong to easily manipulate the flow of spiritual power, aiding the connection of meridians. If the spiritual sense power is insufficient to control the spiritual power, it will lead to chaotic spiritual power, damaging the meridians. Yet another aspect is the physique. A strong body with robust meridians is needed to carry the vast spiritual power within, allowing the spiritual power to impact the meridians repeatedly. If the physique is not strong enough, then during the impact on meridians, it will cause damage to the spirit veins. Then merely healing will consume an unknown amount of time. Many foundation establishment cultivators, due to this, have many shortcomings, causing bottlenecks and hindering breakthroughs. But regardless, now I have finally advanced to the second layer of foundation establishment. Jiang Fan felt the surging primordial spiritual power within him. Compared to before, the primordial spiritual power had increased by at least 1/3, which also made the spiritual power within him even more robust. Drop by drop, the primordial spiritual power flowed into the depths of his meridians, seemingly transforming into streams. With each operation, it made the power within him even more profound. Meanwhile, the size of the primordial talisman deep in his elixir field and sea of chi greatly increased, allowing him to inscribe new life talismans. A strong power surged out from his body. Obviously, his combat power increased substantially compared to before. Luckily, I obtained quite a few centennial spirit medicines in the Xianxia secret realm. Otherwise, how could I have advanced to the second layer of foundation establishment so quickly? Jiang Fan felt deeply moved. Despite having 40,000 spirit stones in wealth, it is a staggering amount of wealth. The problem is, these spirit stones are unable to be spent. Because currently, due to the turmoil in Yunlai City, trade with the outside world is essentially cut off. No caravans come here from outside, causing Yunlai City to lack many supply channels. If it were resources for the Qi cultivation stage, Yunlai City could easily purchase them. After all, the resources of the 10,000 Beasts mountain range are very abundant, not lacking in Qi cultivation resources. But foundation, establishment-level resources are different. They were essentially monopolized by foundation establishment cultivators. Even if he wanted to purchase them, there was no way. If it were the past, Yunlai City would hold foundation establishment auctions, convenient for foundation establishment cultivators to purchase. But now, Yunlai City is too busy trying to protect itself. How could there be any auctions held? So now Jiang Fan can only rely on his existing resources. Chapter 269, Chapter 165, Promotion to Second Layer Foundation Establishment, Taoist Yunlai returns /2. If you want to buy foundation establishment level resources, you'll need to leave Yunlai City and head to another more stable and safe immortal city. Go to another immortal city. But where can I go? Jiang Fan was a bit troubled. After all, the 10,000 Beasts mountain range is only this big, and the number of golden core immortal cities is very scarce. Currently, the 10,000 Beasts mountain range still belongs to newly developed areas. Places suitable for human cultivators to reside and practice are not many. Most areas are actually territories of demon beasts. If he wants to find a better immortal city, he probably has to leave the 10,000 Beasts mountain range. Forget it, let's not dwell on these minor matters for now. The most important thing is cultivation, my own cultivation. If my cultivation is strong enough, then the world is vast, where can I go? Next is to engrave the second talisman after foundation establishment realm. Jiang Fan fell into contemplation. In fact, he already had the answer deep within his heart. For him right now, attack methods with the Celestial Thunder Talisman and the Cyan Lotus Earth Fire Talisman are already more than enough. So he wants more auxiliary methods. Like the talisman he used last time, the Enchantment Talisman. By using this talisman, it can confuse the enemy's mind and make them unknowingly leak information. It can even be used as a soul attack method to cause the enemy to become dazed. One might say when it comes to such soul techniques, the more the better. Moreover, mastering numerous soul-type talismans also aids in the growth of his soul power. The two complement each other. Boom tilde. Thinking of this, Jiang Fan had no hesitation and immediately consumed a full 5,000 luck points. At this moment, he was in a state of epiphany. Deep within the elixir field and sea of Qi, the primordial talisman slowly rotated. The primordial spiritual power within his body began to condense into the patterns of the enchantment talisman on the surface of the primordial talisman. After all, this is a soul-type talisman, and the talisman patterns are extremely complex. Any slight error might lead to failure or even backlash. But with the assistance of luck points, he entered the state of unity of heaven and man, making no mistakes. No one knows how much time passed. The patterns of the enchantment talisman appeared on the primordial talisman. Enchantment talisman complete. In an instant, Jiang Fan sensed he had completely mastered the enchantment talisman, and this talisman became one of his life talismans, as natural as an instinct. Just by lightly activating this talisman, he could immediately release the enchanting power, causing enemies to enter a hypnotic state, unaware of what had happened to them. Enemies may unknowingly reveal their greatest secrets. However, currently, it's merely at entry level. Hence, dealing with cultivators with lower cultivation than himself is quite easy. If facing cultivators of the same realm, the effectiveness might not be as good. An enchantment talisman, from a certain perspective, can be considered a form of hypnosis capability. If I can cultivate it to perfection level, wouldn't I be able to hypnotize anyone as I wish? Jiang Fan blinked. He suddenly recalled many Japanese artistic action films from his past life, where quite a few male protagonists possessed hypnosis abilities, allowing them to do as they wished. Unexpectedly, he now possessed a similar ability. If he wanted, couldn't he use this ability to hypnotize countless beautiful female warriors in the martial world? Cough, cough, that would be a bit of a waste of talent. He is, after all, a foundation establishment cultivator. Even if his strength were exposed, it wouldn't be out of the question to have 3,000 concubines. Countless female cultivators would be willing to become concubines. Why resort to such means? Boom tilde. At this moment, Jiang Fan's heart stirred, and he opened the virtual panel on his body. Name Jiang Fan. Life chart. Great blessings equal to heaven attribute. Great ordeals have been survived, fortune will follow. Lifespan 800. Spirit root, earth spirit root. Luck points 15,000. Wealth 400,000 spirit stones. Cultivation technique. Soaring snake technique. Foundation establishment chapter tier 2 early stage. Cultivation technique. Mixed element talisman scripture second layer. Innate divine techniques. Emperor's gaze palm wind. Life talismans. Cyan lotus earth fire talisman skilled. Yin yang mandarin duck talisman skilled. Fortune-telling talisman skilled. Soul-shaking talisman skilled. Celestial thunder talisman entry level. Enchantment talisman entry level. Realm, second layer foundation establishment, 1%. Profession, tier 2 low-grade talisman master, 30%. Clearly, compared to before, his abilities had improved to varying degrees. All the hard work day and night for these 3 months had finally paid off. Whoosh! After slightly consolidating his cultivation, Jiang Fan walked out of the meditation chamber. Husband, your cultivation seems to have broken through again. Su Wai saw Jiang Fan walk out of the meditation chamber, sensing that his aura was significantly stronger than before, undeniably having achieved another breakthrough in cultivation. Of course, she had also been working hard during this time. Aside from diligently practicing dual cultivation with Jiang Fan, she had obtained a substantial amount of spiritual liquid, advancing her cultivation to the 7th layer Qi cultivation, becoming a late-stage Qi cultivator. Clearly, she could not compare to her husband. But compared to other loose cultivators, the speed was unfathomably faster. Not to mention, Jiang Fan had previously obtained a foundation establishment pill. If she could reach Qi cultivation perfection, then achieving foundation establishment shouldn't be an issue. Indeed, I've had some breakthroughs. I've already advanced to the 2nd layer foundation establishment. Jiang Fan said modestly. What? Upon hearing this, Su Weiwei widened her beautiful eyes, looking at Jiang Fan with admiration. She had heard that foundation establishment cultivation was extremely difficult. Sometimes it could take decades to break through a single level. But now, her husband had reached the 2nd layer foundation establishment in just a few months. Even celestial spirit root cultivators might only reach such a speed. Her husband truly was a prodigy. Haha, it's all thanks to taking pills. If it weren't for me, this kid would still be at the 1st layer foundation establishment. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace grumbled within Jiang Fan's body. But it only communicated this to Jiang Fan's spiritual sense, not letting the sound out. This was part of its little scheme. It said that the crying baby gets the milk. If it didn't make a fuss, this kid might forget its contributions. Boom tilde tilde. At this moment, just as Jiang Fan was about to say something, Yunlai City suddenly trembled. A violent wave quickly spread throughout the city, buzzing and humming. What's happening? Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei exchanged a glance, immediately sensing that something was wrong. Could it be that an enemy was attacking Yunlai City? But there had already been a golden core Zhenren attacking before. There couldn't be a second time, right? For a moment, the two's expressions turned solemn. Soon, Jiang Fan quickly found out the news, learning what the tremor was all about. Haha, the city lord has returned. The city lord did not perish in the nascent soul cave mansion. Many loose cultivators cried tears of joy, spreading this news. The sudden tremor wasn't from an enemy attack, but from the return of Taoist Yunlai. It seemed that Taoist Yunlai had hurriedly and swiftly returned to Yunlai City. No way is this true or false. Wasn't it said he was trapped in the nascent soul cave mansion with a slim chance of survival? How did he suddenly return? Someone felt very puzzled. It said the Tier 4 array in that nascent soul cave mansion was outdated and didn't have its former power, and there happened to be several golden core Zhenren who were very proficient in formations. Although they indeed were trapped in the array, after some twists and turns and paying a significant price, Taoist Yunlai and others managed to escape from the cave mansion. That's great. With the city lord's return, Yunlai City is completely safe. Let me see if Taoist Fei Lion dares to come and cause trouble again. As far as I know, even if Taoist Yunlai left alive, he probably suffered considerable injuries, not sure if he can recover. Yes, if he falls from severe injuries, Yunlai City's situation remains very dangerous. But anyway, in the short term, Yunlai City is certainly safe. Many loose cultivators buzzed with discussion. This astonishing news quickly spread throughout Yunlai City. It served as a stabilizing force, bringing peace of mind to countless loose cultivators. Boom tilde tilde. At this moment, the fortune-telling talisman deep in Jiang Fan's elixir field and sea of qi began to tremble. A message entered the depths of his sea of consciousness. Foundation establishment achieved. When next at the crossroads of fate, progress boldly or face demise midway, it all lies within your own heart. Chapter 270, Chapter 166, Ominous Sign, Escape from Yunlai City. What? Sensing this information, Jiang Fan's eyes glinted with a trace of brilliance. He hadn't expected that just as Taoist Yunlai returned, he himself would have to face another choice of destiny. To be honest, for ordinary people, choices are incredibly important. Especially in life. Everything might seem smooth sailing on the verge of taking off, but once a wrong choice is made, the next step might lead to a fall, crashing hard, never to rise again. Just like those real estate moguls from the previous life, who lived in unmatched glory in the first half of their lives, earning enormous wealth, achieving financial freedom, who could have imagined that with a sudden change in policy, they would end up entangled in debt, swiftly bankrupt, and finally imprisoned. And the change happened within just a few short years. Only a few managed to end well. The same principle applies. For ordinary people, only by consistently making the right choices can they soar high, with destiny favoring them. Don't be fooled by the fact that he is already a second-layer foundation establishment cultivator. It might seem like he stands above countless Qi cultivation stage cultivators. But in the ruthless cultivation realm, what does that really count for? If a wrong choice is made, it could lead to death and the end of his path. After all, even nascent souls can die. A mere foundation establishment cultivator is incredibly insignificant. Boom tilde tilde. At this moment, the fortune-telling talisman continuously vibrated, emitting golden light, as if streams of the qi of fortune were flowing from Jiang Fan's body into it, causing the talisman to unleash unbelievable power, piercing through the fog of destiny. Continuing to stay in Yunlai City, very ominous. Immediately head to Baijia Mountain, auspicious. Sensing this information, Jiang Fan couldn't help but clench his fists. After all, it was just a skilled-level fortune-telling talisman, so the information obtained wasn't much. But when combined with the actual situation, it still couldn't predict the current circumstances. Strange, obviously Taoist Yunlai returned to Yunlai City, overseeing this immortal city. Yunlai City should be as stable as Mount Tai, so why did it suddenly show signs of great danger? Could it be that this omen of great danger was brought by Taoist Yunlai himself? Such a speculation surged uncontrollably in Jiang Fan's heart. To be honest, this wasn't entirely impossible. Originally, Yunlai City was fine, very safe, everything seemed calm. Yet after Taoist Yunlai returned, immediately it became fraught with peril. This must be the danger brought by Taoist Yunlai. In other words, Taoist Yunlai escaped from the nascent Soul Cave mansion, and perhaps the situation wasn't very good. He might be seriously injured, which could attract the coveting of other golden core genrens. No, perhaps the situation isn't that simple. A more likely scenario is that Taoist Yunlai obtained a treasure in the nascent Soul Cave mansion, and was discovered by other golden core genrens, hence attracting calamity. But if that's the case, why didn't Taoist Yunlai flee? Why bother returning to Yunlai City? If he escapes now, wouldn't no one be able to find him, and he could flee with the treasure? However, it's also possible that Taoist Yunlai was already targeted by enemies, and knowing that he couldn't escape, he returned to Yunlai City to utilize the power of the Tier 3 array here to resist other golden core genrens, hoping for a slim chance of survival. If that's the case, Yunlai City is likely to become a place of turmoil. Staying here could be a path to death. Jiang Fan's eyes flickered, and a large number of speculations surged within him. But these were just his speculations. He didn't know the actual facts for now. However, no matter how one looked at it, the originally very safe Yunlai City had now become a place of peril. Originally, he planned to stay here peacefully to cultivate for some time. But now this thought had become a luxury. If he didn't flee now, he might end up being buried with Taoist Yunlai. Head to Baijia Mountain. Jiang Fan saw the second piece of information. Staying in Yunlai City for so long, he naturally was familiar with the surrounding geographical environment. The so-called Baijia Mountain is an ordinary big mountain 300 miles northeast of Yunlai City. It got its name because it resembles a brush stand. But it's merely an ordinary big mountain. No one knows why the fortune-telling talisman instructed him to go there. However, it's still a hint from the fortune-telling talisman. Perhaps once he reaches Baijia Mountain, he'll understand the reason. Thinking of this, Jiang Fan immediately said to Su Weiwei, "Weiwei, I'm afraid Yunlai City is no longer safe. Let's pack our things and leave here immediately." "What?" Hearing this, Su Weiwei's beautiful eyes widened. She hadn't expected her husband to make such a choice suddenly. "Husband, what is this about? Has Yunlai City become unsafe?" She knew her husband must have detected a trace of danger, otherwise he wouldn't want to flee. "That's right." Jiang Fan nodded, and he shared his inner speculations in detail. "You mean that the return of Taoist Yunlai is not a good thing, but might actually bring a calamity?" Su Weiwei was shocked. Although it seemed incredible, upon careful thought, it wasn't impossible. After all, the 10,000 Beasts mountain range was currently too chaotic. Even if a golden core Zhenren fell, it wasn't much of a deal. "That's right, though I might be wrong. But a gentleman does not stand under a collapsing wall. We can leave first and observe for a while." Chapter 271, Chapter 166, Ominous Sign, Escape from Yunlai City. If everything is fine, there's no rush to return to Yunlai City. There's no need to take a gamble. Jiang Fan said bluntly. "Husband, you're right." Su Weiwei looked at Jiang Fan with admiration. She felt that her husband always had everything planned perfectly. That's why they could always avoid danger. "You're being a bit too cautious, aren't you? Just a little anomaly, and you decide to escape." The 10,000 transformations pill furnace was speechless, not knowing what to say. This current master was extremely cautious, like the turtle Taoist. As soon as there was even the slightest disturbance, he would immediately flee, never touching any risk. But it had to admit that such a person could survive a long time in the cultivation realm. For cultivators, having a high cultivation is nothing. Being able to live long is the real skill. Swish. In no time, Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei packed their things and quickly left. They had just moved to Yunlai City not long ago, and were not familiar with the neighbors around. So their departure didn't attract any attention from cultivators. Currently, most of the cultivators in Yunlai City were immersed in the good news of Taoist Yunlai's return. Everyone was jubilant. But this had little to do with Jiang Fan. He followed the instructions of the fortune-telling talisman, activated the power of the light body talisman, and with Su Weiwei, flew swiftly toward Baijia Mountain. Several hours later, Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei were flying midair, at a speed that was unbelievably fast. They were wrapped in a surge of airflow, traveling above the clouds. Obviously, compared to cultivators of the same early-stage foundation establishment, his speed was several times faster. Is this the power of Lifebone Divine Power Palm Wind? Jiang Fan felt that, when he operated the light body talisman, countless streams of airflow surrounded his body, making him feel like he was cloud riding. Controlling the airflow was much easier than before. I felt as though the airflow around me was originally a part of my body. Strands of airflow entered every pore of his body. It seemed to make him part of the air. Even a pair of air wings appeared on his back. With just a gentle shake, he could stir a massive stream of air. Makes him advance rapidly like a jet plane. Because of this, the power of the light body talisman was fully utilized. And this ability is not only useful for traveling, it also has great utility in combat. Swish. At this moment, Jiang Fan saw a large mountain in the distance, which turned out to be Baijia Mountain. His instincts told him he had reached his destination. This place was lush and abundant with trees. It seemed not much different from other mountains. Suddenly, Jiang Fan's spiritual sense lightly scanned the area, immediately raising a warning sign. He sensed 7 or 8 sinister, dark and evil presences lurking deep in the forest, a type that was repulsive. Among them was even an early-stage foundation establishment cultivator. "What's going on? Why has our hideout been discovered?" Could it be that our whereabouts have been leaked? Suddenly, one of the figures spotted the sudden arrival of Jiang Fan and was immediately taken aback. This place was supposed to be their hideout, and it should be very secretive. Yet unexpectedly, there was an uninvited guest. He thought their tracks had been discovered, which was why someone had come to kill them here. Impossible, we've always been cautious in our actions. How could we be discovered? Right? None of us could betray. We are all demon cultivators. We have been on the same boat for a long time. Becoming a traitor would only lead us to be wiped out by the righteous sects. If that's the case, these two cultivators must have come here by accident. In that case, it must be their bad luck for seeing something they shouldn't have. We must kill them, silence them, and destroy all evidence. Instantly, figures emerged from the depths of the forest. Each was shrouded in a swirling blood evil chi, like ghosts emerging from a mound of corpses. Their faces bore fangs, resembling vampires. Their skin even manifested blood-colored runes. No one knew how many wraiths were entangled around them. Clearly, these individuals were not ordinary cultivators, but demonic cultivators. Be careful, these guys are demon cultivators. They likely practice the renowned blood demon technique. At this time, the 10,000 transformations pill furnace immediately shouted out, seemingly very familiar with demon cultivators. Blood demon technique, what's that? Jiang Fan asked. The so-called blood demon technique is a type of demonic cultivation technique that is quite famous. There once appeared a blood demon Taoist who fed on blood. His presence created boundless seas of blood, wreaked endless slaughter. Countless sects fell at this demon grandmaster's hand, devouring innumerable cultivators' essence blood. Later, the blood demon Taoist died at the hands of numerous nascent souls. This technique progresses rapidly, using the blood of demon beasts, humans, and other living beings as great medicine. As long as blood is devoured, cultivation can be enhanced, bottlenecks can be broken. Therefore, this technique's emergence made countless loose cultivators regard it as hope for foundation establishment. Even the blood demon Taoists spread this technique across the world. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace spoke solemnly. It knew the matter well because Taoist Wan Hua once participated in the siege against the blood demon Taoists' battle. Hence, it was thoroughly aware of the blood demon Taoists' terror. Spread globally, why would he do that? Jiang Fan curiously asked. After all, in the cultivation realm, no matter what force or sect, everyone cherishes what they have, not willing to share their treasured techniques. But this blood demon Taoist was different, willingly spreading his technique. Haha, you think that person was kind-hearted. Wrong, he did it intentionally. To the blood demon Taoist, those who practice the blood demon technique are all blood slaves. Once successful in cultivation, they become great medicines. If devoured by the blood demon Taoist, they would surely further his cultivation. So cultivators of the blood demon technique often kill each other. It's like raising goo, only the victor wins everything. As for others, they are nourishment for the goo king. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace spoke deeply. This. Jiang Fan's pupils contracted. He immediately sensed the blood demon Taoist's ruthlessness, spreading his technique intentionally to cultivate great medicine for himself. Luckily, the blood demon Taoist's demonic technique hadn't reached the great success realm. Otherwise, countless cultivators would have died at the blood demon Taoist's hands. He understood why all demonic cultivators were universally despised. Because demon techniques were too terrifying. Treating the world's cultivators as resources, all to satisfy one person's cultivation. With such demons, naturally, everyone wanted to hunt them down. If left alone, it would be one's misfortune. The righteous cultivators fight to the death. There is virtually no room for coexistence. Once a demonic cultivator appears, righteous cultivators will surely act, eradicating them. Otherwise, delay means catastrophe. Despite the blood demon technique's immense power, rapid progression, disregarding spiritual root talent, its side effects are too significant. Before reaching the great success realm, one needs to live off blood. Fearing sunlight, often traveling at night. Lack of blood leads to unbearable thirst, possibly going berserk, completely mad, becoming a blood demon, killing indiscriminately. In summary, all demon cultivators must be eliminated. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace cautioned. It followed Taoist Wan Hua for a long time, also witnessing many demon cultivators. Generally, no good demons. because the side effects of practicing demonic techniques are far too immense. Even if initially kind-hearted, over time, they will inevitably turn sinister, becoming a demon. Ultimately, the enemy of the world. Reasoning with demon cultivators is impossible. Die. At this time, the cultivators practicing the blood demon technique seemed impatient, their faces vicious, erupting with terrifying blood evil chi, rushing toward Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei. Their speed was unbelievably swift, like a burst of blood shadows. Chapter 272, Chapter 167, found an ancient teleportation array and left the 10,000 Beasts mountain range. You demon cultivators are truly impolite. Jiang Fan looked at the group of demon cultivators with indifference. He waved his large hand, activating the body-stabilizing talisman. Boom tilde tilde. In an instant, chains of wind coiled around the group of demon cultivators. And having mastered the bloodline divine technique, palm wind, the power of this life talisman had increased several times over. Not only could it generate more wind chains, but they were also more resilient. Even a demon beast of the same level would find it hard to break free from the body-stabilizing talisman's bind. Instantly, the group of demon cultivators realized that their bodies were completely immobilized. They activated the blood demon technique, attempting to unleash their full vitality. But against the terrifying body-stabilizing talisman, it was all in vain. At that moment, they immediately realized they had hit a wall of steel. This unexpected visitor before them was undoubtedly a Foundation establishment cultivator. We're done for. This guy is a Foundation establishment cultivator. Why would a Foundation establishment appear in this place? Is he here to kill us? Even though I don't know who you are, if you dare to kill us, there won't be a good ending for you. That's right, we have a golden core demon cultivator backing us. If you kill us, our leader will surely avenge us, hunting you down with no escape. The numerous demon cultivators were shocked and furious. They never expected to be so unlucky, encountering such a terrifying Foundation establishment cultivator. It was merely a moment, and they were at the mercy of the other party. And they were completely powerless to resist. Now they felt like bugs caught in a spider's web. The more they struggled, the more inescapable the trap became. Noisy. Jiang Fan sensed the bloody aura from the group of demon cultivators, clearly indicating that many beings had perished at their hands. Letting them live would only lead to the deaths of more innocent beings. Such demon cultivators are not worth sparing, even if they were to die 10 times over. Celestial Thunder Talisman. Instantly, he activated the life talisman within him, the Celestial Thunder Talisman. He waved his large hand, summoning celestial thunder. Bolt after bolt of purple celestial thunder descended from the sky, unleashing a destructive aura, targeting the group of demon cultivators. We're done for, it's even a thunder cultivator. Sensing the aura of celestial thunder, the group of demon cultivators was utterly desperate. For demon cultivators, the power of celestial thunder was one of their greatest nemeses. No demon cultivator was unafraid of the power of celestial thunder. Thankfully, very few cultivators mastered the power of celestial thunder. Otherwise, where would they find refuge? But now they were utterly unlucky, encountering a cultivator who wielded celestial thunder. Rumble tilde tilde tilde. Each bolt of purple celestial thunder struck down, fiercely hitting them. Instantly, the group of demon cultivators let out miserable screams as the supreme yang and firm power erupted within them. Their blood evil chi, demonic aura, and other negative energies met the celestial thunder, melting like snow and ice, unable to resist even a second. In just a brief moment, their entire bodies were shattered by the celestial thunder, torn apart. Their bodies, inherently special, were generally not easy to kill with ordinary power. But against the power of celestial thunder, it was purely the nemesis of this group of demon cultivators. Just one bolt of celestial thunder was enough to turn them into ashes. In an instant, the life force of the demon cultivators vanished, turning into a pool of blood water. No wonder it's the power of celestial thunder. Truly, the nemesis of this group of demon cultivators. Running into you was indeed bad luck for them. Seeing this scene, the 10,000 transformations pill furnace jokingly remarked. Honestly, if other Foundation establishment cultivators had encountered this group of demon cultivators, a fierce battle might have allowed some to escape. After all, they had many tricks. But it was different with Jiang Fan. One strike of celestial thunder, and they were dead. They couldn't even employ their life-saving techniques. It's truly one thing coming to subdue another. Boom tilde tilde. Before Jiang Fan could carefully check the storage bags on the demon cultivators, a message instantly entered the depths of his consciousness. Encountered demon cultivators on the road, fought to the death, and luckily killed them, thus surviving. You have gained 15,000 luck points and a 7th grade opportunity. Feeling this message, Jiang Fan stroked his chin. He didn't expect that after taking down the demon cultivators, he would gain so many luck points. Perhaps it was because these demon cultivators had committed many evil deeds, and eliminating them could have earned him corresponding merit. That's why he received so many luck points. In a way, it also meant saving many lives. Besides the luck points, there was also a 7th grade opportunity. Whoosh! Thinking of this, Jiang Fan gently clicked on the opportunity light point and instantly understood where the 7th grade opportunity was, right here on Baijia Mountain. No wonder the fortune-telling talisman suggested coming to Baijia Mountain was auspicious. Coming here, I not only exterminated a group of demon cultivators, but also obtained a 7th grade opportunity. This truly counts as a bountiful harvest. However, it seems there are big figures behind this group of demon cultivators. After seizing this 7th grade opportunity, I need to leave quickly, lest disaster befalls me. Jiang Fan's eyes revealed a sharp light. He had clearly heard what the demon cultivators had said. Evidently, they were just small fries. The real big shot was that mysterious golden core demon cultivator. Chapter 273. Chapter 167. Found an ancient teleportation array and left the 10,000 Beasts mountain range /2. It was precisely under the backing of that golden core demon cultivator that this group of demon cultivators dared to swagger around the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, plundering and murdering cultivators. At this moment, he also remembered those cultivators who disappeared after leaving Yunlai City. Perhaps they met their end at the hands of this group of demon cultivators. If he hadn't stayed in Yunlai City but left, he might have encountered this group of demon cultivators, or even the golden core demon cultivator. In that case, he would likely be doomed. The power of the fortune-telling talisman truly is unfathomable. Whoosh! Thinking of this, Jiang Fan waved his hand, immediately collecting the storage bags of these demon cultivators. After all, these storage bags were his spoils of war. Moreover, demon cultivators often rob and loot, surely acquiring quite a bounty. However, he didn't have time to inventory this loot now. Currently, the most important thing is to obtain this 7th grade opportunity. At this moment, Jiang Fan, taking Su Weiwei with him, headed towards Baijia Mountain. Following the hints of the 7th grade opportunity, they arrived at a cave in Baijia Mountain. They ventured deeper and deeper. Soon they reached the depths of the cave. Suddenly, a massive platform appeared at the cave's deepest point. On it floated countless array patterns, extremely mysterious. No way, how could there be an ancient teleportation array here? The 10,000 transformations pill furnace exclaimed at once. It was experienced and knowledgeable and naturally understood the origins of this array. To be honest, it was baffled as to why a teleportation array would appear here. It seemed to have been abandoned for a very long time. Teleportation array, can it be used? Jiang Fan immediately used his spiritual sense to inquire of the 10,000 transformations pill furnace. He felt extremely excited. 7th grade opportunity, so this teleportation array is the 7th grade opportunity. Undoubtedly, for him, this must be the best opportunity at present. To be honest, the 10,000 Beasts mountain range is too dangerous now. It's simply in chaos. Many golden core influences are at war. There's basically no safe place anywhere. If he stayed in the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, he would certainly be drawn into the conflict. Although Jiang Fan is quite powerful now, compared to a golden core Zhenren, what is he? At most, just a slightly larger ant, still insignificant. That's why he had long thought of leaving the 10,000 Beasts mountain range. The problem is, leaving the 10,000 Beasts mountain range is no simple task. This place spans hundreds of thousands of kilometers. If relying on the flight of a foundation establishment cultivator, who knows how long it would take? Moreover, along the way, he might encounter powerful demon beasts or other cultivators. With a little carelessness, he might die halfway. But now it's different. This place actually has an ancient teleportation array. Just like the teleportation array he used to acquire the primordial talisman Sex Legacy, it could transport him to another place. It could also help him leave this troubled place in the 10,000 Beasts mountain range. It looks intact. As long as you put spirit stones on it, it should be usable. The issue is, we don't know what the destination of this teleportation array is. If it's a very dangerous place, wouldn't that just be courting death? So I think it's better not to use it rashly. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace said cautiously. To be honest, even the former Taoist Wan Hua would not dare to use an unknown teleportation array recklessly. Because you can't be sure of the destination of this teleportation array. If it's the enemy's stronghold, wouldn't you be walking right into the trap? Moreover, activating the teleportation array would at least cost tens of thousands of spirit stones. Spending so many spirit stones just to go to an unknown place, who would be so foolish? As long as it can be used, that's good enough. Hearing this, Jiang Fan felt very satisfied and immediately stepped forward. Then he took out 50,000 spirit stones from himself and placed them in the array's groove. Are you crazy? We don't even know who set up this teleportation array. And we don't know what the destination is either. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace was stunned, wondering when this boy became so bold. He always used to play it safe before. Don't worry, there won't be any problems, right? Jiang Fan smiled slightly. This was the confidence brought to him by the fortune-telling talisman. Undoubtedly, this ancient teleportation array is the 7th grade opportunity. So the other location of this teleportation array must be safe, otherwise it wouldn't be called an opportunity. Okay. Seeing Jiang Fan's inexplicable confidence, the 10,000 transformations pill furnace felt increasingly unfamiliar with its master, wondering why this guy was so confident. Come on, Weiwei. Jiang Fan pulled Su Weiwei along to stand on top of this teleportation array. Then, without hesitation, he activated the ancient teleportation array. 50,000 spirit stones were consumed in an instant, transformed into energy for the teleportation array. Boom tilde. In an instant, the entire array began to tremble, emitting golden light, an invisible void power enveloping Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei's bodies. The next second, the two were transported away, disappearing without a trace. Immediately, the teleportation array shattered. It was clear that due to its age, this was the last time the teleportation array could be used. After Jiang Fan used it, it completely vanished. Whoosh! Not long after, a blood-colored figure suddenly appeared outside, resembling a blood demon, with overwhelming blood chi emanating from him, sharply dropping the surrounding temperature. The opponent's cultivation had reached the Golden Core realm, a Golden Core demon cultivator. Damn it, my blood slaves have been killed. Who on earth killed my blood slaves? The Golden Core demon cultivator was both shocked and enraged. He had invested significant effort to cultivate these blood slaves. The reason he kept them alive was the hope that they would eventually mature. By then, these blood slaves would become a great medicine, and might even help him break through to nascent soul. But now, the carefully nurtured blood slaves had been killed, leaving not even a piece behind. Years of hard work wasted, making him seethe with hatred, wanting to tear the culprit to shreds. Wait, there's a teleportation array here. Could that guy have escaped through the teleportation array? Could it be that the culprit had long been planning this? At this moment, the Golden Core demon cultivator also entered the cave and saw the traces of the array inside. Unfortunately, since the teleportation array was shattered, he couldn't use it. He could only watch helplessly as the culprit escaped. Undoubtedly, the other party must have used the teleportation array, not knowing where they were transported. They might have completely left the 10,000 Beasts mountain range. No matter how angry he was, it was to no avail. Enough, enough. It's just a group of blood slaves that died. I'll continue to cultivate new ones. There are so many loose cultivators, I won't lack candidates. The more important thing now is Yunlai City. It's estimated that a Golden Core battle will erupt soon. If he can seize the opportunity to kill a Golden Core and devour their blood, it'll be a huge windfall. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that can't be missed. The Golden Core demon cultivator's eyes showed a hint of coldness. Knowing he couldn't track the culprit, he chose to give up. For him, the impending Golden Core battle was more important. After all, he risked being besieged by numerous forces to come to the 10,000 Beasts mountain range. Now he can't afford to lose the bigger picture. Whoosh! At this moment, Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei felt a dizzying sensation, and then found themselves in an unfamiliar place, which seemed to be a mountain range, situated in a primordial forest, with desolation all around. At the same time, they also noticed that the teleportation array was now gone. In the future, they would not be able to return to the 10,000 Beasts mountain range through the teleportation array. The immediate priority was understanding where they had ended up. Boom tilde tilde. Just then, a message resonated deep within Jiang Fan's consciousness. Escaping the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, distancing yourself from the center of calamity, surviving a life-and-death catastrophe, you earn 20,000 luck points. What? Receiving this message, Jiang Fan blinked in surprise. He had merely escaped using the teleportation array, yet he had survived a great calamity and received 20,000 luck points at once, which was extraordinary. What kind of disaster could merit 20,000 luck points? Could it be that had he stayed in the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, he would indeed have faced a life-and-death catastrophe? At that moment, Jiang Fan felt that the dangers within the 10,000 Beasts mountain range might exceed his imagination. Perhaps there were even more hidden dangers yet to be revealed. Choosing to leave the 10,000 Beasts mountain range was undoubtedly the right choice. Chapter 274, Chapter 168, once again seeking fortune and avoiding evil, calamity does not befall. Moreover, if you calculate carefully, the luck points on him have already reached as many as 50,000. Jiang Fan felt that he was unprecedentedly wealthy. After escaping the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, he obtained dense spiritual energy, practically imbued with great luck. He couldn't even imagine what extent his cultivation could be enhanced with 50,000 luck points. But what exactly is this place? Jiang Fan glanced around. He felt he needed to first know his current location. Boom tilde tilde. His spiritual sense expanded outward, perceiving the surroundings. At the first moment, he noticed that the heaven and earth spiritual chi here was much richer than that of the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, at least several times denser. Undoubtedly, this must be a great place for cultivation. Swish! Jiang Fan didn't hesitate, holding Su Weiwei, and swiftly left this place. He activated the power of the light body talisman, flying in midair. In no time, crossing one peak after another, he discovered a market not far away. A large number of cultivators were coming and going in the market, very bustling. One day later, Jiang Fan settled down in this market. Through conversations with surrounding cultivators, he learned this place is the Green River Market. It belongs to the independent practitioner market under the rule of the profound celestial sword sect, a nascent soul sect. The distance from the 10,000 Beasts mountain range is at least 200,000 kilometers. One could say it's quite distant. Of course, it is not an insurmountable distance. In fact, the Great Sun Sword sect and various Golden Core sects also have close ties with this place. From time to time, they would send ships here to purchase various high-tier cultivation resources. However, for ordinary loose cultivators, wanting to cross such a long distance and reach the region of the profound celestial sword sect is really too hard, almost an impossible task. If he hadn't used the teleportation array this time, he estimated he wouldn't have been able to reach this place so quickly. I've actually arrived at the territory of the profound celestial sword sect. Looks like you've reached the coastal region on the eastern side of the southern continent. Taoist Wan Hua's 10,000 Transformations Pill Furnace said. Southern continent. Jiang Fan curiously looked at the 10,000 Transformations Pill Furnace, feeling it knew more about the cultivation realm than he did. After all, the other had followed Taoist Wan Hua for 1,000 years, an experience full of understanding. Moreover, he himself was just a newbie in the cultivation realm for only a year or two. Even though he became a foundation establishment cultivator, he was still quite unknowledgeable about the cultivation realm. Indeed, this realm is called the Celestial Cyan Realm. It consists of 4 supercontinents. They are called the Eastern Continent, Western Continent, Southern Continent, and Northern Continent. Currently, we are in the Southern Continent. Originally, the Southern Continent had no humans. But tens of thousands of years ago, a group of sect cultivators from other continents migrated here, becoming the first batch of human cultivators in the southern continent. Tens of thousands of years later, humans have spread throughout the southern continent, continuously expanding territories, establishing kingdoms and sects. As of today, human influences cover significant areas of the southern continent. Of course, relative to the vast southern continent, the areas occupied by humans are quite sparse, estimated to be less than 1% of it. Most areas are still occupied by demon beasts. The 10,000 Transformations Pill Furnace explained briefly about the history of the southern continent. For the celestial Xian realm, the southern continent is relatively desolate. Compared to continents like East and West, its cultivation pace is considered slow. Basically, the strongest force in the southern continent is only the nascent soul sect. To find divinity transformation influences, one probably has to go to places like the eastern continent. The problem is that the distances between continents are just too far, often spanning billions of kilometers. Even divinity transformation cultivators flying for thousands of years would find it difficult to cross such vast oceans. Therefore, there are essentially no exchanges between continents. Even Taoist Wan Hua spent his whole life cultivating in the southern continent, never having the chance to visit other continents. If he really set out, he estimated his lifespan would run out, dying halfway. Celestial Xian Realm. Jiang Fan couldn't help but nod. If it weren't for the 10,000 Transformations Pill Furnace, the specific situation of the cultivation realm would still be a mystery to him. Previously, the 10,000 Beasts mountain range where he was, and the Wei Kingdom were just small places on the southern continent, and quite remote and desolate. Only the areas where the nascent soul sect is located are considered the bustling places of the southern continent. But don't think staying within the nascent soul sect's influence is very safe. Factually, it could be more dangerous than the 10,000 Beasts mountain range. Because the profound celestial sword sect is located in the coastal area of the southern continent, it often encounters demon beasts from the depths of the ocean and occasionally beast tides. Those oceanic demon beasts are numerous, fiercely combative. Ordinary human cultivators are not their match at all. Besides, there are many demon cultivators hiding within, waiting to wreak havoc. Once, Taoist Wan Hua was ambushed by demon cultivators in this region, suffering grave injuries. The 10,000 Transformations Pill Furnace seriously reminded. Even though the profound celestial sword sect is a renowned righteous sect, under their rule, there's a semblance of peace. But the undercurrent turmoil is not small at all. Being slightly careless, even a foundation establishment cultivator could perish. After all, in such a place, what does a foundation establishment cultivator count for? Just a slightly bigger ant. Swish, swish, swish. Right at this moment, a group of sword cultivators suddenly appeared in the sky. Chapter 275. Chapter 168. Seeking fortune and avoiding evil again, avoiding calamity /2. They flew with swords, breaking through the air. The leading sword cultivator was impressively a golden core cultivator, surrounded by intense sword chi. Each strand of sword chi seemed capable of tearing the skies apart. In the blink of an eye, this group of sword cultivators arrived at Green River Market. All the cultivators in the entire Green River Market were trembling, having no idea what was happening. I am Su Jinlin, the Golden Core Elder of the Profound Celestial Sword Sect. This time, I'm here to recruit some cultivators to hunt down the remnants of the Heart Demon Sect. However, cultivators wishing to join this operation must be at least late-stage Qi cultivation and above. If they're foundation establishment, even better. Those who help the Profound Celestial Sword Sect complete this mission will be richly rewarded. Golden Core Sword Cultivator Su Jinlin stated bluntly, sweeping his gaze across the crowd. What, hunting down the remnants of the Heart Demon Sect? Indeed, there have been rumors of many markets experiencing gruesome incidents recently, suspected to be the work of demon cultivators. Demon cultivators deserve to be hunted by everyone. No wonder even a Golden Core Elder of the Profound Celestial Sword Sect is getting involved. But isn't the Profound Celestial Sword Sect a nascent soul sect? Taking care of minor demon cultivators should be a piece of cake for them, right? Why do they still need help from us loose cultivators? Could it be they want to use us as cannon fodder? Do you even need to ask? It's said the demon cultivators of the Heart Demon Sect are elusive and hard to track down, Finding their traces requires a lot of manpower for a carpet search. Clearly, just the disciples of the profound celestial sword sect are not enough, so they need our help, but the dangers are obvious. Isn't that so? Those are the remnants of the heart demon sect. Even the disciples of the profound celestial sword sect fear them. How can we loose cultivators handle them? Joining this mission is courting death. Indeed, the profound celestial sword sect's rewards are abundant, but one needs to live to receive them. Many loose cultivators were discussing fervently. They naturally wanted to receive rewards from the profound celestial sword sect, whose generosity was well known. But hearing it involved hunting the remnants of the heart demon sect, they were all hesitant. After all, the terror of the demon cultivators was deeply engraved in their hearts. No matter how good the reward, it seemed they wouldn't live to see it. Boom tilde tilde. At that moment, in the depths of Jiang Fan's Danshan and Sea of Qi, the fortune-telling talisman began to vibrate. Demon cultivators run rampant. Calamity is approaching. Under an overturned nest, no egg remains intact. Joining the nascent soul sect's profound celestial sword sect team to hunt demon cultivators, minor fortune. Refusing the summons, pursuing one's own path, great misfortune. What? Perceiving this message, Jiang Fan blinked his eyes. To be honest, he was inclined to refuse the summons from the nascent soul sect's profound celestial sword sect. In fact, like most loose cultivators, he thought it was the profound celestial sword sect recruiting cannon fodder. And indeed, that was actually the case. The other side only lacked manpower, so they were recruiting loose cultivators. Essentially, they wanted to recruit some cannon fodder to help them find the demon cultivators. He wasn't about to foolishly risk his life for the profound celestial sword sect. But now, the fortune-telling talisman unexpectedly suggested that refusing the profound celestial sword sect's summons would actually be great misfortune. Accepting their summons, on the other hand, was fortunate. This indeed defied common sense. Could it be that the demon cultivators being hunted this time are quite powerful, and also cunning and treacherous, that without the protection of the profound celestial sword sect, one might be in mortal danger? Yet staying with these cultivators from the profound celestial sword sect might intimidate the others into not making any rash moves. If that's the case, it seems I have no choice but to agree. Jiang Fan's eyes flickered. Evidently, he had gathered a lot of crucial information from the fortune-telling talisman. He had glimpsed the peril involved. Though he did not know what kind of demon sect the heart demon sect was, for the nascent soul sect's profound celestial sword sect to be so prepared, the opponent's power must indeed be formidable. After all, in the cultivation realm, a nascent soul sect is already a dominant force, capable of standing tall for thousands of years. Some might even have a history spanning 10,000 years. From this, one can see the profound strength of a nascent soul sect, undoubtedly formidable. Yet even so, facing the demon cultivators of the heart demon sect, the cultivators of the profound celestial sword sect still act with such caution. This proves the ferocity of those demon cultivators. With that in mind, following these cultivators from the profound celestial sword sect would be quite safe. At least those demon cultivators wouldn't dare rashly attack this golden core sword cultivator. And if the mission is completed, there are benefits to be gained. From any perspective, joining the profound celestial sword sect's team is advantageous with no harm. Thinking of this, Jiang Fan revealed his aura as a Foundation establishment cultivator and stepped forward. Senior, I wish to join the team to hunt down the demon cultivators. He was essentially the first to step forward, immediately catching the attention of numerous cultivators. What? Upon hearing this, the 10,000 transformations pill furnace was completely dumbfounded. It hadn't expected its extremely cautious owner to actually agree to the summons and dive into such a messy situation, truly inconceivable. Has the sun risen in the west? Since when did its owner become so brave? Beside him, Su Weiwei was also somewhat surprised, but she felt that her husband must have his reasons for doing this, so she quietly stayed by his side. Oh, a Foundation establishment loose cultivator at second layer, you are indeed qualified. But participating in the hunt for demon cultivators, life and death are unpredictable, are you certain? Golden core sword cultivator Su Jinlin looked at Jiang Fan with great interest. He did not expect that there would actually be a Foundation establishment loose cultivator proactively participating in the mission. Chapter 276, Chapter 168, Once again seeking fortune and avoiding evil, calamity does not befall /3. Originally, he was prepared for the possibility of failing to recruit. Senior, I'm of course certain. Exterminating demon cultivators is everyone's responsibility. Demon cultivators are the mortal enemies of cultivators across the world, and everyone should hunt them down. Being able to participate in this action is an honor for me, Jiang Fan said directly. Not bad, truly bloodthirsty. Count yourself in then. If the mission is completed, benefits will surely come your way. Golden Core Sword Cultivator Su Jinlin said, with great satisfaction. After all, the cultivators of the profound celestial sword sect are almost all fierce in their hatred, always erring on killing rather than letting demon cultivators go. He truly admired loose cultivators like Jiang Fan who possess such courage. Only such individuals can advance boldly on the path of cultivation. Not long after, another group of late-stage Qi cultivation cultivators expressed their willingness to participate in the mission. It is said that great reward induces bravery. This time, the profound celestial sword sect offered many benefits, possibly including a foundation establishment pill. Therefore, numerous loose cultivators eagerly signed up. Even several foundation establishment loose cultivators joined in. Soon, the recruitment slots were completely filled. Let's go, we shall first head to a nearby camp. Golden Core Sword Cultivator Su Jinlin waved grandly and swiftly left with the group. Jiang Fan naturally brought Su Weiwei along. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Under the guidance of the cultivators from the profound celestial sword sect, they flew for over 100 kilometers and finally arrived at a temporary camp. In the camp, there was already a large number of cultivators present. Among them were some foundation establishment loose cultivators. Obviously, this time the profound celestial sword sect had recruited a large number of loose cultivators to completely find those demon cultivators of the heart demon sect. Recently, the remnants of the heart demon sect have been ravaging this land, committing numerous massacres. Several markets have even been wiped out by them. So I need you to take action and find these remnants of the heart demon sect and completely eradicate these filthy rats from the gutters. Golden Core Sword Cultivator Su Jinlin said with a murderous aura. He hated these demon cultivators to the extreme, because in his youth he almost fell victim to them. Some of his brothers and sisters even died at the hands of the remnants of the heart demon sect. Indeed, the enmity between both sides is irreconcilable, with deep-seated hatred. Senior, how do you need us to proceed? Someone immediately asked. There's no need to rush for now. My brothers are still tracking their traces. You all should rest here for tonight. Tomorrow morning, we will set out to hunt down those demon cultivators. Golden Core Sword Cultivator Su Jinlin said solemnly. Understood. Everyone nodded. Many loose cultivators had no intention to interact. Each one was very vigilant, selecting a spot to rest temporarily. Obviously, they did not trust other cultivators. After all, everyone was a stranger, and who knows if anyone might stab you in the back. For Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei, this situation was also a good thing, appearing quite relaxed and comfortable. In the blink of an eye, a night passed. An astounding piece of news quickly came through, leaving everyone astonished. Its terrible Green River market was annihilated by the remnants of the heart demon sect last night. All the cultivators in the market were killed by them. No one managed to survive. At this moment, a cultivator from the profound celestial sword sect, looking very grim, conveyed this news. What? Upon hearing this, those loose cultivators who came from Green River Market had a drastic change of expression, hairs standing on end. They never expected that merely one night could bring such a transformation. The Green River Market, which had existed for over 100 years, was wiped out without any warning. Chapter 277, Chapter 169, Easy Crossing the Tribulation, Harvesting Tier 2 Thick Earth Pill. How is it possible? There were no anomalies yesterday. Why did something like this happen? Cultivators from the Green River Market were immediately bewildered. Just yesterday, everything was fine, but overnight, the Green River Market was gone. He felt a great sense of relief inside. Fortunately, he left with the cultivators from the profound celestial sword sect. Otherwise, he probably would not have escaped the hands of the demon cultivators. With just a split-second decision, he survived, which could be considered his fate. Yeah, do they not know the profound celestial sword sect is hunting them? How dare they show themselves? Insane, this is simply courting disaster. Do these demon cultivators not know they are being hunted? Many loose cultivators were incredulous, dumbfounded. Although they knew demon cultivators were extremely brutal and ruthless, they did not expect the demon cultivators to wipe out all the cultivators in Green River Market, utterly eliminating them. At this moment, they clearly sensed the dread and terror of the demon cultivators. No wonder everyone desires to exterminate demon cultivators. Such insane individuals, no one would want them to survive. It's either the demon cultivators die, or they do. Practically, there is no other choice. Heh, you really don't know the horror of the heart demon sect cultivators. Almost every one of them is a madman. They cultivate the heart demon formula. Every move they make can trigger heart demons, condensing demon seeds. At a high level of cultivation, they can even transform into demon thoughts, seizing others' bodies. But the side effects are also great. It's easy for them to be eroded by heart demons, turning into demons, completely falling. You could say they're utterly fearless. You can't use common sense to measure them. Of course, now their actions are a provocation to our profound celestial sword sect. A Foundation establishment cultivator from the profound celestial sword sect said coldly. He was very familiar with these remnants of the heart demon sect, each one unpredictable and bold to the extreme. Relying on their unique cultivation technique, they slaughter everywhere, provoking the profound celestial sword sect. Countless cultivators have died at the hands of these demon cultivators. Over the years, they have been pursuing these demon cultivators, but unfortunately with little effect. After all, the hiding methods of these demon cultivators are too clever. If they want to hide, they are helpless. What? When hearing this, many loose cultivators were terrified, realizing how terrifying the demon cultivators they were chasing were. If they were a little careless, they might also die at the hands of the demon cultivators. But now, even if they want to quit, it's too late. They can only persevere. Moreover, leaving would be even more dangerous. Who knows if the demon cultivators are lurking around? If they leave alone, they might be slaughtered by the demon cultivators. Instead, staying in the camp of the profound celestial sword sect gives them a chance to survive. Was the Green River Market destroyed? Fortunately, I've already left. At this moment, Jiang Fan's eyes flickered, his heart stirred with a ripple. Although he had some premonition in his inner depths, he was still shocked when it actually happened. Luckily, the fortune-telling talisman sensed the fortune and misfortune on him. If he hadn't left with the profound celestial sword sect, but stayed at the Green River Market, he would have likely encountered those fierce demon cultivators. At that time, the odds would not be in his favor. What seemed like an ordinary choice before was actually a choice of fate. If chosen wrongly, it would have cost his life. Husband, I didn't expect it to be so perilous here. Su Weiwei was also taken aback. While staying in the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, although occasionally encountering some dangers, those were only personal threats to cultivators. As for markets and immortal cities, they were actually quite safe. Over the long years, no major problems would arise. But coming to the territory of the profound celestial sword sect, they encountered the destruction of an entire market. If that's the case, then even being in a market isn't safe. Is this still the territory of the nascent soul influence? Why does it seem more dangerous than the 10,000 Beasts mountain range? Is the territory of the profound celestial sword sect so dangerous now? To let heart demon sect cultivators run rampant? Has so much time passed that demon cultivators have risen again? The 10,000 transformations pill furnace was also taken aback by these words. It didn't expect that after so much time, not only had demon cultivators not been exterminated, but they had become more rampant. Now they are massacring openly, provoking the profound celestial sword sect, truly bewildering. Surely, some unusual changes have happened during this time. Otherwise, it's impossible for these demon cultivators, despised by everyone, to suddenly become so rampant. However, the information it currently knows is too little. It doesn't know what happened. Are you very familiar with the heart demon sect? Jiang Fan moved his mind, sending a message through spiritual sense. Of course I'm familiar. It's a renowned demon sect. It's said to originate from a divinity transformation sect on the eastern continent. But even so, their strength is terrifying. In the past, Many nascent soul sects besieged the heart demon sect but couldn't exterminate them. Even if they were severely injured once, they'd soon rise from the ashes. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace said solemnly. It felt that the heart demon sect cultivators were more terrifying than those demon cultivators who practiced the blood demon technique, because their methods targeted the soul, condensing demon seeds. Chapter 278, Chapter 169, Easy Crossing the Tribulation, Harvesting Tier 2 Thick Earth Pill /2. The methods are even more mysterious and unpredictable, difficult to resist. Countless true disciples from nascent soul sects have fallen to the tactics of the heart demon sect, resulting in the birth of heart demons, leading to their demonic deviation and death. Hence, each sect harbors deep hatred for the heart demon sect. Unfortunately, the concealment skills of the heart demon sect cultivators are too advanced. Even after multiple encirclements, they remain unscathed and have instead grown even stronger. In that case, is there any way to deal with them? Jiang Fan's face was solemn. He had a premonition that, as his cultivation continued to rise, he would inevitably clash with heart demon sect cultivators sooner or later. After all, righteous cultivators and demonic cultivators are on opposing sides. If there are no corresponding methods, it may be difficult to withstand them. Of course, there are ways to deal with them. For example, the pure yang power and the power of celestial thunder are among the methods to restrain the heart demon sect. The Cyan Lotus Earth Fire Talisman and Celestial Thunder Talisman on you should effectively restrain them. So there's no need for you to worry too much. The 10,000 Transformations Pill Furnace believed that its master was possibly the least afraid of the heart demon sect cultivators, given the various methods on him that just happened to restrain such special cultivators. Of course, this only applied to its own master. Other cultivators facing the heart demon sect's methods might find themselves helpless. After all, heart demon sect cultivators are skilled in illusion techniques and adept at inducing heart demons. A moment of carelessness might lead one to fall for their tactics. I see. Jiang Fan nodded, feeling much relieved. It seems his earlier choice of using the Celestial Thunder Talisman was indeed very wise. This talisman not only restrains demons, but also restrains demonic cultivators. It can be said to possess the supreme and firm power, with infinite mysteries. Although difficult to master once mastered, it indeed adds great benefit, like wings to a tiger. But Master, your luck is indeed great. You managed to leave with people from the profound celestial sword sect. Had you stayed at Green River Market, you would surely have confronted that group of heart demon sect cultivators. At that time, it would have been a dire situation. The 10,000 Transformations Pill Furnace sighed with emotion. It increasingly felt that its master's luck was extraordinary. Any random decision made seemed to coincidentally avoid a death tribulation. It was as if calamity could never touch its master. Having lived so long, it was the first time it felt so easy and carefree. In the past, when following Taoist Wan Hua, they were constantly hunted, rarely having a moment's respite. Never like now, sitting and watching the clouds rise and fall. Boom tilde tilde. At this moment, a message once again resounded from the depths of Jiang Fan's sea of consciousness. You cautiously follow the profound celestial sword sect cultivators to leave, avoiding an attack from the demonic cultivators, narrowly escaping death, and you gain 5,000 luck points. In an instant, he felt his luck once again increase significantly. Although this addition wasn't as much as before, considering he hadn't done much, it was already quite good for him to gain this much luck. Bit by bit accumulation, his luck on him would surely grow more and more immense. Currently, his luck points had increased to 55,000. Damn demonic remnants. Everyone don't need to worry. The profound celestial sword sect has already tracked their traces. This time they can't escape. Everyone, come with me to eradicate this group of demonic remnants. At this moment, Golden Core Sword Cultivator Su Jinlin stood out, exuding a terrifying killing intent and sword chi. It seemed any demonic cultivator standing before him would be cut down with a single sword. Sensing this powerful force, many loose cultivators also felt greatly reassured. Such a powerful golden core, Zhenren certainly, would not fear those demonic remnants. One day later, under the leadership of Golden Core Sword Cultivator Su Jinlin and other profound celestial sword sect cultivators, they found the group of rampaging heart demon sect demonic cultivators. After a battle, this group of demonic cultivators was completely annihilated, none left alive. It's safe to say this golden core sword cultivator was truly too powerful. And this group of heart demon sect demonic cultivators offered basically no resistance and were killed completely. None left alive. This battle fully demonstrated the tremendous power of the golden core sword cultivator, which was astonishing to behold. With a casual sword slash, he could shatter mountains and tear the earth, embodying the demeanor of a sword immortal. Meanwhile, Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei were just minor figures. The two merely paddled along during this battle, hardly using their power. Essentially, they played no significant role in the confusion of this battle. Yet even so, they still earned some credit. Jiang Fan received a reward from the profound celestial sword sect, a vial of Tier 2 elixir thick earth pill. This elixir's medicinal power is gentle, and after consumption, can slowly increase the spiritual power within a Foundation establishment cultivator. It's very popular among Foundation establishment cultivators, and it's not cheap. Su Wai also received some Tier 1 upper-grade elixirs, which was also a considerable gain. Husband, this mission seemed quite easy. We hardly needed to exert ourselves, and it was over. At first, I thought it would be extremely dangerous. Su Weiwei said with emotion. At first, she thought chasing demonic cultivators would be a situation of life and death. Who knew the cultivators from the profound celestial sword sect were so strong, simply unmatched. Taking down those demonic cultivators seemed as easy as chopping vegetables. Basically, they were just cheering from the sidelines, not needing to take much action, and yet still easily received the mission reward from the profound celestial sword sect. It certainly was easy. Jiang Fan nodded. He too felt this mission was exceptionally easy. However, perhaps this was due to his own luck. If the mission had truly been extremely dangerous, he would have long since fled, not getting involved at all. Those heart demon sect cultivators were strangely weak, oddly so. It felt like they were just cannon fodder. Could there be some conspiracy behind the heart demon sect? The 10,000 transformations pill furnace was worried. It felt that those heart demon sect cultivators peering voluntarily hinted at a major event. Otherwise, why would these hidden figures expose themselves to the light of day? Even after eliminating this group of demonic cultivators, the true important figures behind the heart demon sect had yet to make a move. It seemed like the calm before a storm. Whatever conspiracy they have has little to do with us. We're just loose cultivators, it doesn't involve us. For now, there's nothing to worry about. Jiang Fan communicated through spiritual sense. His fortune-telling talisman hadn't warned him, indicating that even if the heart demon sect had some conspiracy, it couldn't possibly target him, as he was just a minor figure. Undoubtedly, their target must be the profound celestial sword sect and its elite disciples. He should just quietly cultivate and enhance his cultivation level. It's not suitable to involve himself in such a conspiracy. That indeed seems right. Whatever their conspiracy is, the master should focus on rapidly enhancing cultivation. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace couldn't help nodding, agreeing. By the way, since you've been here before, you must be quite familiar with this place. I want to find a Tier 2 spirit vein. Do you have any suggestions? Jiang Fan asked. He thought that as his cultivation level increased, he definitely needed a stable cultivation cave. Without a Tier 2 spirit vein, cultivation speed would be too slow. A good cultivation location can absolutely yield double the results with half the effort for a cultivator. That's simple. You just go to Xianxia City, governed by the profound celestial sword sect, and find the steward to rent a Tier 2 spirit vein. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace straightforwardly replied. Can Tier 2 spirit veins be rented? Jiang Fan blinked. After all, in the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, most Tier 2 spirit veins were claimed. Even if you wanted to rent, there was no way to do so. Of course, they can be rented. You think this is the 10,000 Beasts mountain range? This place counts as a cultivation paradise on the entirety of the southern continent. The spiritual qi here is many times denser than the 10,000 Beasts mountain range. Tier 2 spirit veins, while not everywhere, are still quite common. The profound celestial sword sect's disciples are not numerous enough to occupy all Tier 2 spirit veins. Just like how an emperor's palace may be grand, but when sleeping, he still only sleeps in one bedroom. So instead of these Tier 2 spirit veins being wasted, it's better to rent them to Foundation establishment loose cultivators, and they can even earn some money. It's a win-win situation for both parties. The 10,000 transformations Pill Furnace straightforwardly explained. Chapter 279. Chapter 170. Renting a Tier 2 spirit vein, encountering a Foundation establishment tribulation cultivator. I see. Upon hearing the explanation of the 10,000 transformations Pill Furnace, Jiang Fan immediately understood. Unlike the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, the resources in this area are exponentially richer. Tier 2 and Tier 3 spirit veins are everywhere. The profound celestial sword sect even occupies a Tier 4 spirit vein. And this territory, ruled by the nascent soul sect, spans over 1,000,000 kilometers. Yet they are short-handed. The majority of the area is actually ownerless land. There is no way to fully develop it. So to maximize profit, the profound celestial sword sect naturally decided to rent these Tier 2 spirit veins to Foundation establishment loose cultivators, Foundation establishment clans, and so on, while the profound celestial sword sect only needs to collect rent annually. In a sense, the profound celestial sword sect is the largest landlord in this region. Everyone needs to pay taxes and rent to them. Of course, for Jiang Fan, this is definitely great. He is not afraid of the high rent of Tier 2 spirit veins, just that there might not be any available to rent. Where is Xianxia city located then? Jiang Fan inquired. If I remember correctly, it's actually not far from the Green River Market. At most, it's just a few hundred kilometers away. At your speed, you could reach it within a day. The 10,000 transformations Pill Furnace thought for a moment, and then directly gave an answer. Jiang Fan nodded and immediately made a decision. A day later. Based on the information given by the 10,000 transformations Pill Furnace and other cultivators' intelligence, Jiang Fan, along with Su Weiwei, flew all the way and soon arrived at this nascent soul city, Xianxia City. Upon reaching Xianxia City, Jiang Fan was quite emotional, only being able to say that it truly deserves to be called the nascent soul city. Compared to Yunlai City, it's exponentially larger, at least dozens of times more so. It can also accommodate a large number of cultivators. More importantly, the cultivation levels of the cultivators in Xianxia City are quite high. Foundation establishment cultivators are everywhere, and one can occasionally see a golden core genre. Even among Qi cultivation stage cultivators, many are in the late stage Qi cultivation. Of course, nascent soul cultivators are still very rare. Once reaching this level, they are the ancestors of a certain power and rarely appear in front of ordinary cultivators. Even within the profound celestial sword sect, there aren't many nascent soul ancestors. Husband, the prices here are cheap, but the rent is too high. After strolling around Xianxia City and learning about the prices there, Su Weiwei said. Clearly, compared to Yunlai City, the low-tier cultivation resources here are still very affordable. For example, Tier 1 talismans, Tier 1 elixirs, Tier 1 magical artifacts, etc., are at least half the price compared to the 10,000 Beasts mountain range. The reason for such a situation is because there are so many low-tier cultivators that it's a highly competitive environment. A large number of low-tier rune masters and low-tier alchemists appear here. If they want to sell their items, they naturally have to sell at a lower price. So for Qi cultivation stage cultivators, this place is practically a paradise. Purchasing power has at least doubled. The problem is, the rent here is very high. To live in Xianxia City, it often requires several hundred to over 1,000 spirit stones a year. If it's some cave dwelling close to the inner city, it might even require several thousand spirit stones a year. It's equivalent to being as valuable as gold, something ordinary loose cultivators can't afford to dream of. Even staying in an inn for a night costs over a dozen spirit stones. So if loose cultivators come to Xianxia City, they usually don't stay overnight. They quickly leave after buying the resources they need, otherwise, they'd spend a lot of unnecessary money. There's no way around it, this is a nascent soul city. With so many cultivators living here, of course, land is as valuable as gold. However, I don't plan to live here. Instead, I want to rent a Tier 2 spirit vein. This way, it's not only much cheaper, but the rental area is also large. Jiang Fan said. In fact, many foundation establishment cultivators are willing to spend more to live in Xianxia City instead of renting a Tier 2 spirit vein. After all, staying in Xianxia City is very convenient. You can buy all kinds of elixirs, spirit medicines, and talismans as soon as you step outside. You can also communicate with many fellow cultivators. But if you rent a Tier 2 spirit vein, you'll definitely be living in the wilderness. Not only is safety not guaranteed, but obtaining resources is not very convenient either. If you want to buy foundation establishment resources, you might have to travel dozens or even hundreds of kilometers to reach Xianxia City. The only advantage is the large rental area and the freedom, without needing to worry about neighbors. Because of this, plenty of foundation establishment cultivators have rented houses in Xianxia City, causing the rent here to skyrocket. It's somewhat like the apartments in the city and rural houses in the suburbs from previous lifetimes. In short, different cultivators have different choices. It all depends on personal needs. Swish, swish, swish. Soon, Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei arrived at a place specialized in rental matters in Xianxia City. To greet them was steward Lang Zhengquan, a later-stage foundation establishment cultivator. He looked to be at least 100 or 200 years old. Oh, you want to rent a Tier 2 spirit vein? The cost is not cheap, you know. It requires 5,000 spirit stones every year. Moreover, the Tier 2 spirit vein is located in the wilderness, not as safe as Xianxia City. Are you still sure about renting? Steward Lang Zhengquan asked. Recently, due to demon cultivators rampaging, many cultivators have fallen. Some foundation establishment cultivators were so frightened that they abandoned their original cave dwellings and hid inside Xianxia City. After all, in such a nascent soul city, safety is still assured. At least the ruthless demon cultivators dare not invade Xianxia City recklessly. But if it's in the wilderness, the situation is different. Chapter 280. Chapter 170. Renting a Tier 2 spirit vein, encountering a foundation establishment tribulation cultivator /2. Losing the protection of the city, everything must rely on oneself. No problem, of course I'll rent. Jiang Fan nodded. Other cultivators worry about the dangers outside, but he doesn't. If any danger were truly to occur, the fortune-telling talisman would surely warn him. That way, he can prevent the threat before it happens. It's likely that before the demon cultivators even make a move, he'd have already fled, not giving them a chance to attack him. So after considering, he felt it's more comfortable to rent a Tier 2 spirit vein. After all, it would completely be his own place. It's like living in a cramped apartment versus living in a big villa. The feeling is entirely different. Well, since you've thought it through, I have nothing more to say. Just 100 kilometers away is 7 Stars Peak, consisting of 7 peaks. Enough to accommodate 7 foundation establishment cultivators. Coincidentally, a foundation establishment cultivator recently canceled their rent, and you can move in. Additionally, there are foundation establishment cultivators nearby. You can watch over each other, making it safer. However, you need to pay 5,000 spirit stones annually for at least 10 years, so you'll need to pay 50,000 spirit stones up front. That's not a problem, right? Steward Lang Zhengquan thought for a moment and found one unclaimed Tier 2 spirit vein. Then he looked at Jiang Fan. No problem. Jiang Fan nodded. For him now, a mere 5,000 spirit stones is nothing. After all, he already possesses 35,000 spirit stones. Paying 50,000 spirit stones up front is not a problem, just a drop in the bucket. Great. Here are your spirit contract and token. Both are unique to the profound celestial sword sect. Remember to keep them safe. This token is the core of one of the mountain peak arrays. Once refined, you'll possess the key to this Tier 2 array, allowing you to enter at will. But once you cancel your rent, this token must be returned, understood? Steward Lang Zhengquan was quite pleased. He took out the spirit contract, an array token from his belongings. Virtually all Tier 2 spirit veins under the jurisdiction of the profound celestial sword sect have been arrayed. The purpose is to prevent unfamiliar cultivators from occupying the spirit vein. Only by refining the array token can one enter. So this array token is like a room key, without which you naturally can't enter. Of course, you could forcibly break through the array barrier, like a thief breaking in. However, once discovered by the profound celestial sword sect, you'd become a fugitive. At least within the territory of the profound celestial sword sect, you couldn't continue to survive. Understood. Jiang Fan nodded. He had already heard similar information from the 10,000 transformations pill furnace, so he was quite familiar with the process. Quickly, he paid 50,000 spirit stones, signed the spirit contract, and received the token. Next, he headed towards 7 Stars Peak. Of course, before leaving Chuanjian City, he and Su Weiwei made extensive purchases in the city. They bought a large amount of Tier 1 spirit rice, and even some Tier 2 spirit rice. Besides that, they also purchased some Tier 1 and Tier 2 demon beast meat. He also bought Su Weiwei a high-grade magic robe for increased defense. In total, they spent 40 to 50,000 spirit stones, which significantly reduced Jiang Fan's wealth, leaving him with only 25,000 spirit stones. Spirit stones really don't last long. We haven't even bought Tier 2 elixirs, and there's not much spirit stones left. Jiang Fan was quite emotional. Initially, he thought having tens of thousands of spirit stones was quite wealthy. But now, looking back, without having bought much, he's left with thousands of spirit stones less. The cultivators of Chuanjian City, this amount is hardly significant. Every golden core Zhenren possesses wealth of at least 1,000,000 spirit stones. Even some wealthy foundation establishment cultivators possess tens of thousands of spirit stones. On the whole, rich cultivators are everywhere in Chuanjian City, and he's just another among them. Of course, for him, this is not necessarily a bad thing. Not attracting attention and practicing peacefully, that is his principle. Husband, did we buy too much? Su Weiwei's charming face was flushed, as rosy as a ripe apple, exceptionally alluring. This time she felt she had shopped too crazily. For example, cosmetics, clothes, jewelry, she bought lots. It's all right, spirit stones are meant to be spent. Jiang Fan hugged Su Weiwei's slim waist, feeling her rounded and full body. Earning spirit stones is easy for him. As long as his wife is happy, it's worth it, given that she's been with him through thick and thin. Upon hearing this, Su Weiwei's heart felt warm, sweet as honey. As the night fell, the two stayed at an inn in Chuanjian City for the night. They left Chuanjian City in the morning the next day. Boom tilde tilde. But just as Jiang Fan was about to leave Chuanjian City, the fortune-telling talisman deep within his elixir field and sea of qi began trembling, sending a message straight into the depths of his sea of consciousness. Fortune leaked, drawing greedy eyes. Feign ignorance, confront the tribulation cultivator, good fortune. Take the opportunity to escape, evade the tribulation cultivator, neutral outcome. What? As he sent this message, Jiang Fan's eyes flashed with sharpness. Clearly, the message from the fortune-telling talisman was straightforward. He has already been targeted by a tribulation cultivator. The reason being his extravagant spending yesterday in Chuanjian City. Consequently, he attracted interest from some malicious individuals. Even though this is profound celestial sword sect territory, it doesn't necessarily mean complete safety. In fact, robbery incidents are still rampant in this area. Security is chaotic. After all, the region ruled by profound celestial sword sect is vast, spanning millions of kilometers. But there are only so many disciples. They can only guard segments of it. For instance, they can maintain security within the city but not outside. Moreover, with so many cases daily, if all were reported, the profound celestial sword sect couldn't handle them all. Just resolving these cases would consume a vast amount of their time and energy. Where would they find time for cultivation? Such time-wasting tasks concerning cultivators' practice are naturally ignored. So the profound celestial sword sect does not intervene in violent disputes among loose cultivators. One outcome is good, another is neutral, which means this tribulation cultivator poses no real threat to me. If I take the opportunity to escape and evade them, it will be risk-free but without any reward. But if I confront the tribulation cultivator and defeat them, I will gain something instead. It seems these tribulation cultivators have chosen the path to self-destruction. Jiang Fan's eyes flickered. He naturally made the first choice. For a threat like this, he wishes to eliminate it as soon as possible. Dare to attack him, it's just setting themselves up for misery. And most importantly, by defeating them, he can benefit too. All in all, it's a win-win situation. Thinking of this, Jiang Fan calmed down, extending his spiritual sense to sense the surroundings. Sure enough, he felt hidden, subtle glances from the street corners. Without the fortune-telling talisman warning, he wouldn't have known he was being watched by criminals. Yet he showed no sign of awareness, pretending he knew nothing. Whoosh! With Su Weiwei, he harnessed the power of the light body talisman and flew towards 7 Stars Peak. Naturally, he didn't do so at full speed, because if the speed was too fast, he'd likely lose those few tribulation cultivators. Moreover, it might scare them off. Then his chance might be completely gone. However, the tribulation cultivators lurking in the shadows seemed patient. Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei weren't immediately attacked as they left Xianxia City, but rather when they had traveled tens of kilometers and reached a forest. The 3 tribulation cultivators secretly tracking suddenly launched their attack. All of them had reached the Foundation Establishment realm. However, they were essentially all in the early stage Foundation Establishment realm. 2 were at the 2nd layer Foundation Establishment, 1 at the 3rd layer. This is why they dared to challenge Jiang Fan. After all, 3 Foundation Establishment cultivators against 1 2nd layer Foundation Establishment cultivator is a simple task. They didn't even speak a word, wanting directly to eliminate Jiang Fan, attacking with deadly force. Die! Instantly, the 3 Foundation Establishment Tribulation cultivators wielded flying swords, unleashing formidable sword chi towards Jiang Fan, completely locking onto Jiang Fan's energy, as if intending to pierce through Jiang Fan's body instantly, ending the lives of Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei. Chapter 281. Chapter 171. Obtaining a 5th grade opportunity, the ancient demon vibrating bell. Protective talisman. In an instant, Jiang Fan activated the life talisman deep within his elixir field and sea of qi, the protective talisman. After advancing to the Foundation Establishment realm, the power of the protective talisman became even stronger, capable of instantly forming 18 layers of spiritual energy shields, each one indestructible. It's in no way comparable to the protective talisman of the Qi cultivation stage. If the power of the protective talisman is activated, even a Qi cultivation stage cultivator would be unable to break through a single layer of the spiritual energy shield, no matter how much effort they put in. Even Foundation Establishment cultivators of the same level would find it extremely difficult to breach the power of the protective talisman. At this moment, layers of invisible spiritual energy shield spread out, enveloping the bodies of Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei. Bang, bang, bang! Waves of sword chi fiercely struck the spiritual energy shields of the protective talisman. Immediately, the spiritual energy shields only produced some slight ripples. They only managed to break through 3 layers of spiritual energy shields, unable to proceed any further. The protective talisman, this was merely scraping the surface. Jiang Fan at this point was practically an impenetrable turtle shell. Impossible, what kind of defense technique is this? How could it be so formidable? The 3 Foundation Establishment Tribulation cultivators were stunned upon witnessing this. You have to know they are sword cultivators, capable of wielding sword chi, which is known for being unsurpassed in penetrative power. Ordinary cultivators can't withstand a single stroke. They'll be slain immediately, rendering defensive magical artifacts useless. But now, this youngster effortlessly blocked their sword chi merely by activating a defense technique, completely unscathed. They felt that even if they continued attacking, it was unlikely they'd ever break through this hard turtle shell. Damn, this kid is not an ordinary Foundation Establishment cultivator. We thought he was just an ordinary loose cultivator. We didn't expect him to be this formidable. It seems we've kicked an iron plate this time. It's not wise to continue fighting. The 3 Foundation Establishment Tribulation cultivators communicated through spiritual sense, instinctively sensing something was wrong. This mysterious Foundation Establishment cultivator in front of them was obviously much more powerful than they had imagined. As long-time assailants, they possessed extraordinary danger instincts. They could discern whom they could provoke and whom they could not. Obviously, this mysterious Foundation Establishment cultivator was someone not to be provoked, a frightening figure. Back in Xianxia City, they noticed that he had rented a Tier 2 spirit vein and purchased a substantial amount of cultivation resources, spending over 100,000 spirit stones, truly a wealthy individual. That's why they had murderous intent, wanting to ambush and kill this Foundation Establishment loose cultivator on the road. But now, if they didn't leave, they'd be the ones in trouble. Each of them harbored thoughts of retreat. But unfortunately, even if they wanted to escape now, it was too late. Body-stabilizing talisman. In the blink of an eye, Jiang Fan waved his hand, invoking the power of the body-stabilizing talisman within him. The bloodline divine technique on his body, palm wind, combined with the power of the body-stabilizing talisman, would multiply the power of the body-stabilizing talisman several times over, like adding wings to a tiger. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Wind chains suddenly appeared, instantly binding the three Foundation Establishment Tribulation cultivators. At once, these three Foundation Establishment Tribulation cultivators discovered that their bodies were immobilized, bound by an invisible force, as if imprisoned midair. Impossible, how can the power of the body-stabilizing talisman be so terrifying? Why can't we break free? The three Foundation Establishment Tribulation cultivators were both shocked and furious. They activated the spiritual power within them, trying to break free from the restraints of the body-stabilizing talisman. Unfortunately, the power of the body-stabilizing talisman had increased severalfold, and the wind chains were extremely tough. They simply couldn't break free. No matter how they struggled, it was all in vain. Boom tilde tilde. The next moment, Jiang Fan flicked his fingers, and the power of the Cyan Lotus Earth Fire talisman within him exploded, forming clusters of blue fireballs, shooting forward like bullets. The three imprisoned Foundation Establishment Tribulation cultivators were easy targets, unable to defend themselves. No! They couldn't help but let out a miserable scream. The blue fireball bullets effortlessly pierced through their bodies, while the power of the heaven and earth anomalous fire, Cyan Lotus Earth Fire, suddenly erupted, unleashing a destructive force. It can be said, the three Foundation Establishment Tribulation cultivators had no way to even struggle. Their bodies exploded like watermelons, shattered into pieces. Meanwhile, the power of the Cyan Lotus Earth Fire continued to burn fiercely. In no time, the remnants of the three corpses were incinerated, turning into ashes. Damn kid, you're becoming more monstrous. Killing three early-stage Foundation Establishment cultivators is like slaughtering chickens. These three met you, and it's like they've brought bad luck upon themselves for 8 lifetimes. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace was utterly speechless upon seeing this. Having lived for so many years, it had witnessed many Foundation Establishment cultivators, but none was as monstrous as its master. Currently, Jiang Fan was just a second-layer Foundation Establishment cultivator, yet his combat strength was off the charts, invincible at the same level. Other cultivators of the same level would undoubtedly be killed if they crossed his path. The pill furnace thought that even the true disciples of the Divinity Transformation sect could possibly be just as formidable. And this kid was using only his own power, without any external aid. If he really used the primordial talisman pen and himself, it couldn't imagine to what extent his power would reach. Whiz! Hearing this, Jiang Fan smiled and ignored the 10,000 transformations pill furnace's complaints. He waved his hand, immediately picking up the 3 storage bags that had fallen to the ground. Chapter 282, Chapter 171, Obtaining a 5th grade opportunity, the ancient demon vibrating bell /2. After all, these are the storage bags of 3 Foundation Establishment cultivators. Surely there are many treasures inside. Maybe it can make up for the loss he suffered during his stay in Xianxia City this time. Might even take the opportunity to make a huge profit. Why are there 3 Foundation Establishment Tribulation cultivators tracking us? Su Weiwei was stunned upon seeing this scene. Because everything happened too quickly, and these 3 Foundation Establishment Tribulation cultivators died too fast, she didn't even have time to feel fear before it was all over. She originally thought that the territory of the profound celestial sword sect would be a bit safer, but unexpectedly it was more dangerous than the 10,000 Beasts mountain range. After all, in the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, Foundation Establishment cultivators are mostly leaders of strong factions. Rarely would any of them become a tribulation cultivator. Unlike these Foundation Establishment cultivators of the profound celestial sword sect, who actually lower themselves to become tribulation cultivators, it's truly baffling. Probably revealed the wealth while in Xianxia City. As a result, these few Foundation Establishment cultivators got their eyes on it. While in the 10,000 Beasts mountain range, Foundation Establishment cultivators are very powerful and prominent. But in the territory of the profound celestial sword sect, foundation establishment cultivators are nothing much. If they aren't talisman masters or alchemists and don't have any specific skills, but still want to obtain large amounts of wealth, then they can only become tribulation cultivators. So for chi cultivation stage cultivators, this area is probably even more dangerous. Jiang Fan said solemnly. Instead, he thought chi cultivation stage cultivators staying in the 10,000 Beasts mountain range was more suitable. At least they wouldn't attract the covetous attention of foundation establishment cultivators. Boom tilde tilde. At this moment, a message instantly entered the depths of Jiang Fan's consciousness sea. Encountered 3 foundation establishment tribulation cultivators on the road. In the fierce fight, you managed to reverse and kill them. You have survived a life-and-death tribulation and gained 15,000 luck points and a 5th grade opportunity. What? Upon sensing this message, Jiang Fan blinked. Although he knew that this time he was surely in for immense fortune, he didn't expect that by defeating these 3 foundation establishment tribulation cultivators, he would gain so much benefit, not only earning 15,000 luck points, but also securing a 5th grade opportunity. What kind of fortune do these 3 foundation establishment loose cultivators have to explode with a 5th grade opportunity? Could they actually be people predestined with good fortune? But that's not out of the question. After all, the soaring snake techniques chi cultivation and foundation establishment chapters he obtained previously were from a chi cultivation stage loose cultivator. Most loose cultivators are dirt poor, with not much in the way of resources. But it's possible that 1 or 2 of them might get an opportunity, soaring to great heights. Perhaps these 3 foundation establishment loose cultivators were just that. Dong. Thinking of this, Jiang Fan moved his mind and gently touched the point of light representing the 5th grade opportunity. Another wave of information surged in. Could it be that this 5th grade opportunity is inside the storage bag? There's no need to look elsewhere. Jiang Fan was overjoyed. Without hesitation, he immediately opened the 3 storage bags, and the treasures inside were revealed at first sight. The first thing that caught his eye was spirit stones, with a large amount stored inside. Counting carefully, the number of spirit stones reached as many as 150,000. But this is rather ordinary wealth for foundation establishment cultivators. Probably most of the spirit stones were already spent by them. After all, foundation establishment cultivators earn a lot, but they also spend a lot, unimaginable to chi cultivation stage cultivators. Next were various types of magical artifacts, materials, spirit rice, etc. All combined, they were worth tens of thousands of spirit stones. This means he has gained a total wealth of 200,000 spirit stones this time. In a sense, this can be considered striking it rich. Regrettably, he didn't find any Tier 2 elixirs. But that's also quite normal. If there really were any Tier 2 elixirs, they probably would have consumed them long ago, rather than leave them until now. Indeed, a wealth-bringing boy. This time, the expenses in Xianxia City have been instantly reimbursed. Jiang Fan was very satisfied. Originally, the number of spirit stones he had dropped to 250,000. Now, after obtaining these foundation establishment cultivators, wealth, it instantly restored back to 400,000 spirit stones. This meant the expenses he incurred in Xianxia City were entirely covered by these foundation establishment cultivators. Right, where is the 5th grade opportunity? What Jiang Fan was most interested in was the 5th grade opportunity, and he soon discovered a palm-sized bell inside one of the storage bags. It appeared exquisite and small, covered with intricate and mysterious runes on its surface, profound and enigmatic. Without a doubt, this dark golden bell was this time's 5th grade opportunity. Seems to be an ancient treasure. Its value is not inferior to the 10,000 transformations pill furnace. Upon seeing this dark golden little bell, Jiang Fan instantly realized just how enormous the benefit he had gained this time. He never expected to obtain a mysterious ancient treasure. Honestly, who could have guessed that these foundation establishment cultivators had an ancient treasure? And the other party never used it, rather left it in the storage bag like an ordinary treasure. But upon thinking carefully, perhaps it wasn't that they didn't want to use it. But even if they wanted to, there was no way to use it. Refining an ancient treasure is not a simple matter. Without gaining its approval, even if you force it, it's to no avail. In fact, without consuming luck points, he wouldn't have been able to forcibly refine the 10,000 transformations pill furnace either. So the Foundation establishment cultivators likely faced the same scenario. Even after obtaining this ancient treasure, they could only leave it in the storage bag, unable to find a way to use it for a long time. Refine this ancient treasure first. Thinking this, Jiang Fan didn't hesitate, immediately consuming his own luck points. In just a moment, as many as 20,000 luck points vanished into thin air. Fortunately, his luck points had reached an impressive 70,000. A mere 20,000 luck points was nothing. He could afford the expense. Moreover, consuming these luck points to refine an ancient treasure was worth it in every way. Rumble tilde tilde tilde. Instantly, a mysterious energy from his body surged out and entered the dark golden little bell, finally reaching the core of this ancient treasure. At that moment, Jiang Fan sensed a wisp of his soul power effortlessly merging into the core of this ancient treasure, as if the two fused easily. And the ancient treasure didn't resist at all. Everything was a natural progression. So that's how it is. This ancient treasure is called the demon vibrating bell. A flash of brilliance appeared in Jiang Fan's eyes. He instantly obtained a wealth of information from the ancient treasure. After fully refining it, he understood the various abilities of the treasure. Undoubtedly, it was a lethal type of ancient treasure. Once activated, it could immediately unleash terrifying power of sound waves and soul power. As the bell's sound reverberates, it sweeps across all directions, shattering all demons. In the past, it was a renowned ancient treasure, having slaughtered countless demons and enemies. Regrettably, it was damaged in a great battle. Currently, it remains in a state of slumber, capable of only unleashing a portion of its abilities. What's going on? Why was I suddenly refined? At this moment, the artifact spirit of the demon vibrating bell suddenly awoke, finding that its essence had merged into the body of a stranger, into the depths of Jiang Fan's heart. It had always been in a state of slumber. Although many cultivators had obtained it during this long period, none could gain its recognition. Without enough strength, invincible perseverance, and extraordinary talent, one was unworthy of using it. But now, clearly, it hadn't yet recognized the other party, hadn't yet tested them before being forcibly refined. It felt as though it was a forced act. In an instant, it was both shocked and angry, not knowing what had happened. Silence, little demon vibrating bell dares to be arrogant. If the master wants to refine you, he will refine you. Need he negotiate with you? Truthfully, being refined by the master is your fortune. How dare you be dissatisfied? Utterly outrageous. At this moment, the 10,000 transformations pill furnace also noticed the sudden appearance of the ancient treasure demon vibrating bell, and upon seeing that it was easily refined by Jiang Fan, immediately gloated. It instantly transformed into Jiang Fan's loyal henchman, criticizing the demon vibrating bell, being utterly sycophantic. Chapter 283. Chapter 172. The Fall of Taoist Yunlai, Calamity of the 10,000 Beasts Mountain Range. You! Upon hearing this, the demon vibrating bell was infuriated, immediately wanting to resist and break free from Jiang Fan's control. But it had long been refined by Jiang Fan and had no room for resistance. With just a thought, it was like the Monkey King struck by the golden circlet spell, instantly losing all its strength. It's over, completely over. The dignified demon vibrating bell was actually refined by a young lad. It's a disgrace to my reputation accumulated over a lifetime. The demon vibrating bell felt utterly heartbroken, wondering why it was forcibly refined without its consent, something that seemed entirely unreasonable. This feeling was like being overpowered and wronged. Now it was completely puzzled, not knowing what had happened. Since you've come, you might as well settle down. Why hold a grudge over it? Life is like that sometimes. If you can't struggle, you might as well enjoy it. The 10,000 transformations pill furnace advised earnestly, displaying a wise and experienced demeanor. After all, it was experienced and understood the thoughts of the demon vibrating bell well. And Jiang Fan paid no attention to the conversation between these two ancient treasures. To him, magical treasures were like women, both capable of growing on you over time. Though there was some resistance now, they would soon accept reality. He slightly tidied up the treasures from this time, then set off with Su Weiwei towards 7 Stars Peak. By evening, Jiang Fan and Su Weiwei finally arrived at 7 Stars Peak. Here, the mountain range stood majestically, with rugged rocks and towering peaks, 7 majestic peaks each occupying a different position. From afar, the 7 peaks were interconnected and seemed like one entity, growing together. The tops were lush with numerous trees. On the mountain tops, palaces were constructed. Each peak was enveloped by the barrier of a Tier 2 array. Without the owner's consent, one couldn't enter. It was extremely safe. This is also why Foundation establishment cultivators rent a Tier 2 spirit vein. Having one's own cave mansion is crucial for Foundation establishment cultivators. The peak Jiang Fan rented was in the central position. Rumble tilde tilde. Without much thought, Jiang Fan took Su Weiwei to the peak he rented and took out the array token, causing a resonance with the Tier 2 array here. The invisible array barrier created a portal large enough for 2 people to pass through. Husband, it seems like someone lived here before. And they've left quite a bit of furniture and living supplies. Upon entering the peak, Su Weiwei was delighted. She felt like she was moving into a noble's residence. It was meticulously decorated, like a manor, like a palace. Living here was extremely comfortable. More importantly, the entire peak was covered by a Tier 2 spirit vein. Compared to the outside, the concentration of spiritual qi was many times thicker. If practicing here long-term, the efficiency would increase several times, providing many benefits. Indeed, a Foundation establishment cultivator lived here before. Originally, this was a barren peak, but after many generations of Foundation establishment repairs, it has become quite perfect. At least we don't need to build a mansion from scratch. We can just move in with our belongings. Jiang Fan felt quite satisfied. Spending 5,000 spirit stones a year was well worth it. With such a perfect Foundation establishment cave mansion, it saved him countless efforts. All he needed to do next was to focus on cultivation peacefully. Husband, the other peaks seem to have Foundation establishment residents too. Should we pay them a visit? Su Weiwei inquired. After all, this was 7 Stars Peak. Everyone was a Foundation establishment cultivator and neighbors, so it was natural to get acquainted in advance. Having good neighborly relations would be beneficial for everyone. No rush, we've just arrived at 7 Stars Peak, and it's already late. Let's rest for the night and pay them a visit tomorrow. Jiang Fan nodded. Naturally, he also wanted to get to know the neighbors, since he would likely be practicing here for a considerable time. Several days later, Jiang Fan visited the other 6 peaks and finally learned about their identities. First was the eldest Foundation establishment cultivator, Wei Song, who was already 200 years old at the 8th layer of Foundation establishment, living on 7 Stars Peak for 100 years, and also a Tier 2 high-grade alchemist, appearing as a kind old man. Next was Chang Lisheng, a 6th layer Foundation establishment cultivator, a technique cultivator proficient in various techniques, with formidable combat power but quite aloof, not good at socializing, often hunting demon beasts to earn spirit stones, and rarely at home. Mahjong Mountain, a middle-aged man with a sincere appearance at the 5th layer of Foundation establishment, a Tier 2 pharmacist. The pharmacist and alchemist are not the same. In the cultivation realm, many difficult and complicated illnesses exist, requiring a pharmacist to concoct medicines to heal. And at critical moments, a pharmacist can also become a poison master. Don't let his honest appearance fool you. His poisoning methods are quite skillful as well. Fan Wenli, a 5th layer Foundation establishment cultivator, looked scholarly and genteel like a literati, and like Jiang Fan, was a talisman master, specifically a Tier 2 middle-grade rune master specializing in refining talismans. He was very warm and welcomed Jiang Fan graciously. Yu Kellyan, a 5th layer Foundation establishment female cultivator, appeared very alluring, proficient in charm technique, with a questionable reputation, supposedly involved with numerous male Foundation establishment cultivators from Xuanjian City.